Empress Nur-e-Jahan is rated as quite a phenomenon in the annals of history, as she created a powerful niche in the governance process in a male-dominated Mughal empire. She was also a very sagacious person, as she resigned to her lot after the rule of her husband, Jahangir, ended. Prior to her retirement, Nur-e-Jahan had a larger-than-life presence in the Mughal Empire, and her word was considered law, as her husband had delegated more of his imperial power to her. It was actually Nur-e-Jahan who provided access to Shah Jahan to become part of ruling Troika, yet they fell out after Jahangir became dysfunctional, and Shah Jahan could see that Nur-e-Jahan would be the only obstacle in him getting into imperial throne. During his many years of cooperation with Nur-e-Jahan while ruling the empire, Shah Jahan was appreciative and yet apprehensive of her talents as a prudent politico-administrator, well as her apparent known as Prince Khurram. He had ruled the empire with her as part of a troika comprising him, Nur-e-Jahan, and her brother Asif Khan, who was also his father-in-law. The fact that Nur-e-Jahan was family as her niece, Asif Khan's daughter Arjumand Banu, later famed as Mumtaz Mahal, could not stop Emperor Shah Jahan from keeping tabs on the fallen empress. There must have been something special in this lady that catapulted her as joint ruler of the West subcontinent with her husband. Otherwise, she was the 35-year-old widow of Sher Afghan, who had fallen out with the Mughal emperor when she caught the eye of Jahangir. Born in Kandahar to impoverished Persian parents fleeing Iran for better prospects in Mughal domains, Maran-Nisa was a beautiful and accomplished girl. She was married at 16 to Ali Quli Istajlu, an Iranian immigrant serving at the establishment of a Mughal noble, Abdul Rahim Khan I Khanan. Ali Quli bravely fought for Prince Salim in many campaigns and was awarded the title Sher Afghan, Lion Slayer. Sher Afghan unfortunately fell out of favor with the prince after Salim rebelled against Akbar, but the rupture in ties was not due to Nur-e-Jahan at all. On ascending the throne, Jahangir pardoned Sher Afghan and transferred him far away to Burdwan in Bengal. As luck would have it, the reckless Sher Afghan was killed during a fracas with Qutbuddin Khan, governor of Bengal. Her father meanwhile had grown in stature as chief minister of Jahangir, and the widowed Maran-Nisa along with her daughter Ladli Begum were taken under the privileged appendage of late Emperor Akbar's wife Salima Sultan Begum. Her impassable manners and skills in embroidery and stitching became legendary during her 4 years association with royal harem. She fashioned brightly colored brocades, tissues, and skills for ladies of the harem. Her designs were much sought after and often set the fashion trends. She invented judami, flowered muslin of Peshwas, goes open in the front, pancholia for ornaments, a new design for veils, bedla, embroidery with metal strips, kinari, lace, and farsh-e-chandni, white cloth for floor covering. She also credited with designing gold ornaments with elegant new patterns. She was quite well known in harem circles as an embodiment of good taste. After 6 years on throne, Jahangir in 1611 met her at Meena Bazar, a new year fair started by Akbar, in which the emperor was the only male present while princesses, noblewomen, and other women members of royal harem exhibited brocades, exquisite silks, fine muslins, bejeweled turbans, and the like. An aesthete to the bone, Jahangir was enamored of her. proposed immediately and married her on 25th May of the same year. Maronissa was his 18th and last wife, and Jahangir gave her the title of Nur Mahal or Light of the Palace and later Nur-e-Jahan or Light of the World. Soon she became the most powerful woman in the empire, as coins were minted in her name, legislation enacted by her, edicts issued by her, orders and foreign affairs conducted under her watchful eye. As Empress, Nur-e-Jahan was well adept with niceties of art, literature and philosophy and was a brilliant conversationalist. She was famous as a crack shot and often accompanied Jahangir on tiger hunts. She ably assisted Jahangir in his pursuit of art and painting, as he was the best connoisseur of fine arts even in the Mughal Empire. Her mother, Asmat Begum, discovered the ether of essence of roses, but Nur-e-Jahan distilled and popularized it. Apart from this, she took care of orphans, especially girls, and is estimated to have arranged the marriages of or provide for 500 such girls. She was a patron of architecture and built many beautiful palaces, gardens, and mosques. The tomb she built for her father, Mirza Riaz Beg, in Agra, is one of the exquisite examples of Indo-Persian architecture and is known to be a precursor to the Taj Mahal. Mughal historians imply that Nur-e-Jahan's dominance over besotted Jahangir resulted in his favorite son rebelling against him, and widespread disaffection amongst nobles, particularly for attempt of Mahabat Khan to kidnap both Jahangir and her. Many historians have portrayed her as ambitious, scheming figure taking advantage of Jahangir's weakness for indolence, wine and opium. It however is clear that during her 16 years stay at the top, she worked in close coordination with her brother, the chief minister and heir apparent Prince Khurram, the future emperor. The strength of their joint policies kept a weak emperor Jahangir afloat, otherwise imminent disaster was round the corner. In all probability, the prejudice against her reflects the deep-seated anti-feminist bias of many contemporary historians, which has often been repeated uncritically by others. However, she massively impacted Jahangir's life, who laconically admitted his dependence and left the running of the empire to her. Jahangir was often sick and she took good care of him and started gradually participating in government affairs, that too, with his permission. She understood Jahangir so well that he brought her status as per with him. Her position in the empire was such that except for khutbah, prayer for the reigning monarch, she possessed all the privileges of a ruler. Firmans or edicts were issued in her name and grants were conferred under her seal. From 1623 to 27, coins were also struck in her name bearing the word Ba Hukm Shah Jahangir Yaft Sad Zevar Front by order of the King Jahangir. Gold has 100 splendors added to it. Zanam-e Nur-e-Jahan Badshah Begum Zar, on reverse by receiving the impression of the name of Nur-e-Jahan, the Queen Begum. She is the only woman in Mughal history to have obtained the privilege of her name being put on coins on the realm. Another privilege she was granted was that she appeared with Jahangir for Jharuka Darshan, an exclusive ceremony during which the emperor would show himself in person to common people. At the death of Jahangir in 1627, Nur-e-Jahan was prudent enough to realize that her name was over. She forthwith withdrew from public activity and gracefully retired to a small jagir in Lahore. She lived for another 18 years during the rule of Shah Jahan, but no harm came to her as she completely confined herself to charitable activities till 1645, when she passed away at the age of 72 and lies buried near her husband's tomb in Shahdara, Lahore. If you really like the video, then like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.